Yes, you are listening to Off the Top with Skulls and Shadow.
I got my computer up, so I'll build it.
Hey guys, what's going on? Scowls here. Myself with Shadow. We're here to discuss our predictions for the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night. It's a WWE Premium Live event. What's going on, Shadow?
Not much, man. How about you?
Not much, not much. You looking forward to the event tomorrow?
I am. I was actually. It got me even more hyped after hearing the Undertaker news today. Well, tomorrow got me even more hyped for it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it doesn't do anything until April 1st, but still.
I know, but that just brings the hype into this weekend, and I can't wait.
What do you think they're going to do? Who do you think is going to induct him?
Well, obviously it's not going to be Paul Bear, obviously for obvious reasons, as he's dead. I think either Kane or Vince McMahon himself.
You think Vince?
Well, he's always said Vince is like a dad to him, right?
I mean, I definitely should. If I had it my way, he'd be the only inductee this year. And just a whole hour dedicated to him.
A whole class to himself. I mean, he deserves
Exactly. Because the way that they're adding so many people, eventually you're going to run out of people to add into it. The less people you do it every year, the more meaningful it will be.
I could get behind that if it's just Undertaker, but it won't be, unfortunately. But if it was just Undertaker,
anybody else would take away from him. Like, it should just be the Undertaker. That's it. Nobody else.
yeah, yeah, I don't even know who you would add to this class because last year was two classes in one, obviously for pandemic reasons.
The only person that I would add to this would be Kane. That's it. And have them go in together.
Yeah, I mean you could.
Other than that,
Maybe that.
Other than that, everything else, no one else. That's my opinion on it.
It'll be another Texan that goes in too, I believe.
Who? JBL?
Ugh, I don't like him, but I digress. All right. Well, we're not here about talking about the Hall of Fame. That's coming up in the following weeks. We're here to talk about Elimination Chamber tomorrow at noon. We're 14 hours out from the event.
That's freaking crazy that it's noon. I hate these events because I don't get to watch them live. It's the only reason I hate it.
I have hockey practice tomorrow, so it's
But I mean,
it's not something I'm going to be able to watch live either.
coming off of last year's event in over in Saudi Arabia, I think that was probably their best event of the year. Um, so I have good expectations for this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that disagree with them going over to Saudi Arabia altogether. Um, but that's a political thing, and that's not our type of thing on the podcast.
That's not our thing. We're not
So
going to discuss that. So everybody
um,
has their opinions on it.
exactly, and we don't want to discuss our opinions. It's just how it is. But I think the way they do it over in Saudi, especially now, they're bringing in a whole special event over. That's huge. It's a big step. It opens up doors for the UK, everything to start getting pay-per-views back. Really,
Yeah, I mean they're supposed to be going over there for another tour later in the year, and
right?
apparently they're going to be doing they're going to be trying to unveil a pay per view in the UK. They might be doing SummerSlam over there.
Yeah,
That's all the rumors that I've been hearing.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors of SummerSlam taking place in, I believe it is England,
Yeah,
where the NFL teams go.
yeah, the UK and where Manchester United is.
Okay, they play where Man. Okay, they'd go where Man U plays. Okay,
Yeah, that's the rumor because you can't go where Tottenham is. That's affiliated with the Cons, so
right,
they wouldn't be able to do that venue. So
right.
let's start off with we'll start off with one of the matches that I think is probably one of the more meaningless ones.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio versus The Miz.
Ooh, yeah, that's kind of a. I don't want to say throwaway match because they're both good, but on
Yeah, I
this
mean,
card, it is kind of just a throwaway filler match.
well, that one and then the other throwaway filler match we'll discuss after this. But I mean, you have one icon in Rey Mysterio, one legend, and then you have a Miz who has built his career by being the underdog in almost everything. He worked for everything that he did. Like,
Right.
everybody said he would never do this, and look what he's done throughout his career. So these two are probably going to put on a great match. Um,
I mean, The Miz has to be doing something right. This is the second straight show we're talking about him.
I mean, the Miz does a lot of things right, but
you know what I'm saying? Like he's made himself relevant again. We're talking about him.
yeah, he always tries to keep himself relevant. He reinvents. I mean, he goes back to being the way he always is. That
Right.
little sneaky, conniving little cheat with when he has Maurice in his corner and everything else. But he always finds a way to be in the discussion.
Yeah, exactly, and that's good at his age and this stage of the game for him. It's huge.
I don't know.
You want to keep yourself.
Has Mysterio been over in Saudi Arabia before, or is this first event over there?
I don't know.
I don't remember if he's been on, unless he was there for the greatest Royal Rumble.
I'd have to fact check that, and I don't even know 100%.
But he's gonna have his son in his corner for the match.
I know it's Dominic's first time over.
Yeah, Dominic wasn't with the company when they had that. I could see Rey Mysterio winning this.
Right.
Just because he's getting to the end of his career. But if he doesn't win, I could see this starting towards the Dominic and Rey feud that they want to do before Rey is done.
I think, since we're on the topic of Mysterio, and Rey is one of my all-time favorites, I think by the end of WrestleMania, Rey will be retiring.
Yeah, it's coming sooner than later. I can definitely say
Big
that.
time. I think so. And I think if something is to happen, it needs to kickstart tomorrow. And
yeah,
or not even necessarily kickstart. There doesn't need to be a rivalry. But let's say Monday night, Rey comes out, Dominic comes out, they talk about, oh, we lost to Miz, blah, 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 blah. And Rey says, you know what, I'm starting to wind down, kind of thing. And then he's like, you know what, how about I've done me versus Eddie as tag team champions at WrestleMania because they bought Eddie up in the storylines recently, so it makes sense to have his name out there again.
Yeah, they brought up his name a lot.
So how about the first son versus father match at WrestleMania?
And then he passes down the torch of the mask.
Yeah, he'll go out on his back, facing up to the lights, and he'll give Dominic the win and the mask. And set off to the sunset.
I could definitely see that happening.
I mean, that's my creative writing for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, did you see what I sent over to you on Twitter earlier today? From what
I did, and I.
We'll talk about that after. But
yeah,
I just thought I thought you would enjoy that one.
I did.
All right, so let's go to the next match that I feel is also kind of a throwaway match. They did try to amp it up a little bit by adding the false count anywhere stipulation. So we have Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss, who will have Happy Corbin in his corner.
Do I have to give an opinion on this match?
You do. If not, I can go back and see what you picked already.
McIntyre's going to destroy Madcap.
I think,
but it's such a waste of time on the card. Like,
I don't know. I kind of think
you have a former world champion versus a jobber. What else am I supposed to say to that? It's
so okay. I understand what you're saying, but they need to start building up new potential people for the future.
No, I get that and I understand that.
And but by having Madcap Moss go up against Drew with Corbin, who is considered a vet now, in his corner, this could potentially be a sneaky good match that people are not expecting. The Falls Count Anywhere stipulation to it, I think, adds a lot because it does allow for Corbin to be involved. It also does allow for McIntyre to kill Corbin as well.
Right.
So I could see this match surprising a lot of people. I do think Drew will win, but they will make Madcap Moss look good while he does it. I don't think it's going to be just a squash or a complete domination by Drew.
Okay. Listening to your point of that, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that actually does make a lot of sense because there's not a lot of young guys right now that are really sticking around, especially with like how everything's gone. So, yeah, I guess you still need to kind of build within the roster.
I mean,
So,
they're doing essentially that with Austin Theory on Raw.
I have a whole different opinion on that kid, but
Well, we'll talk about him when we get to that match. But
we will.
I'm saying they're doing that with him over there. I mean, they need to start building people up, and that's one thing that they have not done well in the last 5 to 10 years, and it's something they need to
Right.
change.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Um,
Changing of the guard in a sense, right?
Not necessarily changing of the guard, just building more stars than just having the 5 or 6 ones that can draw. Like everybody knows Roman Reigns, everybody knows AJ Styles, everybody knows Seth. Like
Right.
there's Brock. Like so they need to start doing that, and I think that this match can help start that with Madcap. The name is
Okay.
stupid. Maybe eventually they get away from the name, but
Yeah,
it could be a way that they could start doing that.
I could see that.
Um, let's head over to the tag match: Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte Flair and Sonia.
I'll be honest. I didn't even know that was a match until the predictions came out.
So it's actually been announced tonight. There was the contract signing tonight on SmackDown. Um, but with the pre-recording of SmackDown and all the spoilers being out there,
Right.
it was already put out on all the sites. Um,
Fair enough.
this I think was a way to get more women on the card, more women onto the card. Um, it also is a big deal because Sonia is the first from the LGBTQ community to wrestle over there. So it is more boundaries that WWE is breaking by going over there.
History making, right?
Um, the 4 women in this match are all solid to good competitors.
Their household names.
Um, I actually think, and I hate to say this, I think Charlotte and Sonya are going to win this match.
To make Ronda look weak already, though,
I mean, I don't know. Like
because Ronda and Naomi would be the baby faces in this situation.
this is if Flair loses, this will be her first loss the entire year.
She doesn't have to lose.
It's still a loss when you're on the losing team.
But she doesn't have to eat the pin, is what I mean.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's still a loss. Like that's the only thing I can think of. That's the reason why I say that I think Flair and Sonya are gonna win. And with Sonya being the first one over there, it could be a reason as to do it. And you have Sonya beat Naomi. Like that's the way you have it. Doesn't make Ronda look bad. Doesn't make Ronda look weak.
Yeah, I guess I see your point, but I'm gonna stick with the baby faces walking out.
Um. All right. So now all we have left, we have the 4 title matches, and then we have the women's um, #1 contendership match. What match you want to start
Right.
with?
Start with the women's.
The #1
We'll
contendership.
go back to back. Yeah, we'll go back to back women's matches here, mainly because this one's a little bit more interesting.
Okay. So you want to do the singles one first, and then go into the chamber. Just do all the women's together.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. So we'll go with Becky versus Lita. I'll let you start on this one.
Well, we can all see in the background. You got Becky on the wall right there, right? You got Seth right there. But I'm going Becky, and I think it'd be stupid on WWE's part. Like, I love Lita. She paved the way for all of these women. Her, Trish, Jackie, all of them. But it just makes no sense to have Lita come back and win a belt. I want to see her have a run, but not as champion. I don't want to see a Goldberg style in the women's division. We don't need it. It's not necessary. Um, technic, technical wise, Becky needs to remain champion. Like she's better in the ring. She's smoother in the ring. She's obviously a lot younger in the ring. Well, for nostalgic reasons, we all want Lita to win. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on this one. I would love Lita to win. I just don't think it's going to happen here. Um, Becky has built so much momentum, and the person that needs to take the belt off of her, I think it's either going to be Bianca or Alexa Bliss are the two that I probably see at some point taking the belt off of her.
I'll add one name to that, and it is Rhea Ripley.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they made her look good. So we'll go right into the next match then. Now that we started talking about them, it's the number one contendership match. It's actually an elimination chamber. You have Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Doudrop, Nikki ASH, and then the sixth competitor Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa must have been added later on the Monday show because I missed the announcement of her being in it.
She was added on Monday, during one of her sessions.
I must have missed it.
At the end of the session, she said, "I see that there's a sixth spot open for the chamber." She goes, "I'm just gonna add myself to the match."
Which is nice because it's been a while.
So
it's been a while since we've seen her, right? So,
and I think didn't Rhea Ripley win the gauntlet match?
I believe so.
To enter into the chamber last. So
it was either her or Belair that won it.
Yeah, I have to look that up. But I believe that it was Rhea. I mean, I like all the competitors in this match.
I think the only one I don't like in the match is Nikki ASH.
That's what I was gonna say. Oh, hold on. Did we get? I see something.
This ain't a fun podcast. We're agreeing on everything tonight. I don't know. Usually there's completely different guys, so this is wild.
So, I'm actually reading something online right now.
Shocker.
Well, it pertains to what we're talking about.
No, but I'm just meaning we read more online than we do actual.
The tag match that we discussed with Ronda Rousey and them, Ronda has to fight. Ronda has to fight with one hand behind her back.
Oh, cool. Gimmick matches.
So, that's Sonia pulling her weight, you know.
Oh yeah, but it's just another gimmick match, and that just makes me not want to watch it even more at that point. Like I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but I understand that she's a real fighter. We all know wrestling's fake. We get it, but it's still entertainment. But to put her in that position for Ronda,
it was Bianca. You were correct.
Yeah. See, I knew it was Bianca or Rhea.
Yeah, they were the last two.
But I'll digress on that whole Ronda Rousey thing because I don't even. Anyway, so back to the Elimination Chamber. So yeah, Bianca gets to enter last, which in itself, at one point or another, I could see her hair being tied to the chamber.
Oh, I could definitely see that happening.
There's going to be a spot where her hair gets tied to the chamber. Has to be.
I mean, I could see...
Or the spot that it does get tied is before she gets to come out, someone distracts her and ties it to the chamber wall.
Oh, to keep her inside the pod?
To keep her inside it.
That'd be a good spot. It'd be good if they did something like that.
Shadow creative, boys. Shadow creative.
I feel that Nikki ASH is going to be the first one out.
I do as well.
If she's not, Unfortunately, I could see it being Liv Morgan if it's not her.
Yeah, because you can't. It's either Liv or Nikki because the other four you can't make look that weak in there.
Well, Doudrop, you can have everybody team.
Not the
You
way
can
you're
have.
building her, you can't.
I know, but you could have everybody team up on her, and it takes everybody to knock her out. Like it took 3 or 4 women to knock her out. Like that could be the way that they go about that if they do have her first.
That's an idea.
But I definitely could see Nikki being the first one out, and I think it's gonna be Bliss. I think we're gonna see Bliss versus Becky at WrestleMania.
I hope so. I mean, I'm a big Bliss fan too, right? So
It's good to see her back.
it is, and it'll be interesting to see what gimmick we get tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. She's been going back and forth with all different things in those sessions. It's changed. It almost seems like she's back to the gimmick that she was with Lily because she said like I know Lily's going to be with her now. That was one of the things in the session that she had with the shrink. He said that you have to carry her with you wherever you go. So I can see her definitely being in the pod with her. So I'm curious as to what's going to happen. If we're going to see Bliss have a multiple personality type deal, or if it's just going to be, crazy Bliss.
So essentially, it might be Ray Fiend type scenario again, but maybe not as twisted.
Could be. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we don't know because she hasn't been on TV and.
I mean, this could be just a way to throw us, and she's completely 180 from that.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen. We haven't seen her on TV in, 8 months? It's been 6 to 8 months, something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So, quick rundown of the matches we went through already. We did Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. I have Rey Mysterio winning. We have Drew versus Madcap. Who do you have winning that one? Rey Mysterio versus Miz.
I still have Ray. I'm gonna go with Ray.
The next one went over was Drew versus Madcap. I have Drew winning.
Same. Yeah, it's Drew. Drew's gonna just annihilate him.
We went through Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte and Sonia. I have Charlotte and Sonia, and I believe you had Ronda and Naomi.
Yep.
The next one was Becky versus Lita, and we both had Becky with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we did the Elimination Chamber for the women's. We both had Nikki ASH being eliminated first, and I had Bliss winning, and you had same?
Yeah, I believe I did, yeah. I had Bliss winning as well.
Okay. All right, so let's start off with the tag match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champion. We have the Usos going against the Viking Raiders. What's your thoughts on that?
I haven't caught much of that program. I don't even know if there is a program to it or just a challenge. But I'm just hands down Bloodline. Usos. The Viking Raiders are not on Usos level. Not currently. They're not on a run.
They could be. They could be. They just need They need a couple more months of dominating teams and.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? They need a run. There.
But I feel the Usos are going to keep it, keep the belts within the Bloodline as well.
Yep.
Let's do the Universal Championship match. You got Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Goldberg. So, this is Goldberg's last match on his contract.
Thanks.
So that should mean that he's losing.
It should.
He also said in an interview that he doesn't want to take time away from the people that deserve it, which is completely a 180 from what happened 2 years ago with The Fiend and Goldberg in the same location.
The man says he doesn't want to take opportunities away from those who deserve it, yet he's in this match.
Yeah, but okay. I will grant that in regards to what you're saying, but there was nobody else to put in this match for right now.
Rollins, Owens.
No. Wrong brand.
Doesn't matter. We
It
had
does
Rollins
matter.
cross over to challenge.
Yeah, but that was
I digress. I'll let you have your point.
that was that was the Royal Rumble. That was supposed to be like because everybody's fighting each other anyway. Like you already have the mixture in the Rumble.
Yeah, but you already
So-
have the mixture going to Saudi.
No, you don't. You don't have. Both chambers are on Raw. There's no SmackDown chamber.
Right.
None of the SmackDown wrestlers are in there. I don't think there's any competitor on. The only person that you could put in there besides Goldberg would be Drew. That's the only one I think on SmackDown. You could
I'd
put in
rather
there.
watch Drew Reigns than Gold Reigns.
No, I agree. Who else would you put in there? Sheamus?
No.
He just lost to Ricochet tonight.
Ew.
I mean, not ew. That's great because Ricochet needs
You
to
could
go.
put-
Nick Ricochet needs to be
As
out.
fun, because the man's been around for a while. You can always put this man in.
He was on Raw this past week.
I know, but because he's been around, and I think that is a very subtle way to introduce him to the main roster, by the way, on Raw there.
It is because it's with him and Dolph, the whole thing, and then Dolph showed up again on NXT.
Yeah, it's going to escalate to him. But anyways, that's not a part of what we're talking about.
So that's going to be the way
but-
to get him up there, yes. But
Yeah, I think you're right. Though.
So,
I don't really know who you throw in there.
there's really nobody on SmackDown to throw in there right now. That's part of the issue on SmackDown.
Guess so. Stupid, but
Right. So that's how we end up with matches like this. Reigns versus Goldberg.
it's almost as if they had a gold mine with a certain masked character.
Yeah.
Which would have been the perfect time to have that match.
It would have been. Correct. I agree. I mean, I have Reigns winning this. I don't see Goldberg
Yeah, I
coming
have
out on
Reigns
top.
winning it.
I think this is actually the last time we will see Goldberg since his contract is up.
I hope so.
Everything that I've been reading about says the only way he's going to re-sign is if he can get the belt again, and he doesn't want to be able to do that. So I think that's the reason why he's saying that, so that he doesn't resign.
So he says, but we all know money talks.
I understand, but the
I
way
mean,
that
when
the way
Goldberg
they did
signed
it
this
last time,
original,
the way they
but
did
when
it
he
last
signed this
time,
original deal, though,
yeah,
he only wanted to be champion one run to prove to his son he can still do it, and he's had 3 runs since. I don't care for the man anymore.
I don't think he had 3
He
runs.
can just go off, and
He didn't have 3 runs since.
he did. He's been WWE champion and Universal twice.
You talking about over the last 6 years?
Yes.
Oh, the most recent deal he signed was a 3-year deal, and that's the one where he took the belt off the Fiend.
Okay, but I'm still just in general. This man said he wanted 1 more run, and he's gone on 3. Like, I don't care to see him on my screen anymore. I don't care to see him in wrestling anymore. But I think that's pretty much everybody's feelings at this point on him.
Well, they don't mind seeing him, they just don't want him winning.
I mean, it's cool for nostalgic reasons. Oh, he's calming down. I don't want to see him in matches anymore. He's dangerous. I don't want to see him wrestling guys he has no business wrestling, like Reigns, like Bray Wyatt, like everybody on any roster, really. He doesn't need to be there. Like, if he wants to be in wrestling, go to Impact. I don't want him in WWE anymore. Just go away. Ride into the sunset.
Yeah, they wouldn't even sign him over there.
That's how bad it is. Even Impact doesn't want him. But Vince McMahon, oh, this is a legend.
Well, because he knows he draws ratings.
He draws rating over in Saudi, not here.
don't know.
Anyways.
I mean, SmackDown numbers were they show.
Yeah.
So the last match we have is the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. You have the champion Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, Seth freaking Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles.
I want to throw out a weird ass theory, if you will, here.
Okay.
Everybody, and this isn't trying to bring up other companies, so everybody listening, this is not what this is. This is because he's a free agent right now. And I'm not saying he's coming to WWE because I don't believe he is. But if he was to come to WWE, Saudi is where he should do it, and he takes out Austin Theory to get himself inserted into that match. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, I am talking about Cody Rhodes.
So I can agree with
realistically, because Theory doesn't really I believe Theory is up and coming. Don't get me wrong. He's a great talent. He's got skill. He's got the ring smarts.
Ring awareness.
Like, he knows what he's doing. But in this match, he has no business being in there. Neither does Riddle, for that matter. But out of Riddle, Theory, you're going to take out Theory, not Riddle.
I don't know.
Because Riddle's too hot right now.
They probably would take out Riddle over Theory if they did
Okay,
that.
but even if it's Riddle, it's one of those two. But in my opinion, you don't take out Riddle because he's too hot on TV right now, especially with the Orton thing.
So, when I first heard that he was a free agent, my first response was, I wish there was a spot in the chamber. That was my first initial response.
Right.
I thought you were going to go a different direction also. I didn't think of Cody Rhodes.
I wasn't going that way.
I thought of somebody else that used to work for Impact, who lost his work visa in the U.S., but he would still be able to wrestle in a different country.
Right. I know what you're talking about. But
so that's who I thought you were talking about, the Walking Weapon.
Right.
Who I think would be great in this type of match, considering that he's done well with the Ultimate X.
I just think where they're going, he's not known.
Right.
So it would make no sense.
Correct.
Right?
I agree.
But Cody has built himself a brand, like outside of wrestling.
And the rumors are there's going to be lots of twists and turns at this event.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be very hard for me to stay off social media tomorrow until I watch this.
See, it's not for me. I'm in an ice rink with shitty reception, so it's fine.
I know, but I'm at work and I have Twitter pulled up, so I'm gonna have to not have Twitter.
That's okay.
Pulled up.
I'll just text message you all day about random shit. Keep you there, but not saying it like you never say never in wrestling. I think we've all learned that by now. But I don't think Cody's coming. It would, and if they are bringing him, it's a really well kept secret, and that's hard to do with the WWE right now.
It's not a well kept secret. Everybody's saying he signed already that he'll be there Monday night.
Even if he's there, I mean, what else does he have to look to accomplish? He can go on one of the. They need a big baby face.
Exactly.
He is that.
Exactly. That's why I could see him showing up on. I don't see him showing up on Raw. I see him showing up on SmackDown.
If
on Fox,
WWE really was serious,
can you imagine if they promoted that he was going to show up on Fox this Friday night? What that rating would be?
It would blow every other company out, including Raw.
I mean, SmackDown already does that, but
I mean, blow it out.
It could possibly jump it up to 3 million, and they've been getting 2.2 because
let's say Cody goes. Does that reverse the forbidden door for WWE?
I mean, they already worked with Impact. They want to continue working with Impact.
But that's what I'm saying. Does it reverse the door though? Because you have arguably one of the greatest, and I say this, AEW guys going back. Does that mean maybe we see the likes of Omega?
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, no. I'm not saying them specifically.
It doesn't open the door between AEW and WWE. What it does is it opens the door for people leaving AEW to go to WWE.
That's what I meant. The wording was just terrible.
Yeah, it's not. There will never be a forbidden door between them two, because of the way that AEW trashes them constantly.
Right.
But it would open up the door for people going from that people are free agents in AEW to have the opportunity to join WWE.
Right. But like that's what I go back to, like Kenny Omega. I say Omega because he would. I feel like there's a few guys in WWE that he would mesh well with. You might have Mox come back. Doubt that. And then there's guys.
I can see Jericho going back.
Jarrett could be another one because he wants that Hall of Fame status, right?
Oh, he's got the Hall of Fame status. It's just whenever he's done. He's going to be a Hall of Famer in WWE no matter what.
Yeah. And then I believe the Briscoes are on their way at some point to the one brand, so it would open the door for the other brand. But I don't see. They're way too hardcore for WWE.
I mean, they want to go there.
But they'd have to water themselves down, and that's not good.
Which is what they would not want to do.
The Briscoes are way too brilliant-minded for to be watered down. But yeah, anyways.
I know we got sidetracked.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's okay. This is what the podcast is about, right? We don't want to just, here's the match, right? We want to talk about theories around the show.
So, this match, this is probably the one that I'm most excited to see. Just because of what Seth and AJ can do inside this chamber.
Right. I don't really have a winner for it because, excuse me, it's hard. Like there's a lot of talent in there.
There's too many possibilities and too many things that I'm reading that conflict with what other things that are saying. Like, Seth feels he's ready and wants that WrestleMania main event again. Lesnar, all the reports are saying Lesnar's going to win, so we still get that title versus title at Mania.
I don't want to see a title versus title at Mania, though.
Well, the only way they do, if they do that, then it's what you want them to do.
Right. That's fine. If they're unifying, perfect. If they're not, get it the fuck off my card. Excuse my language.
I don't want the unification of this belt. If they're going to
unify, I don't want to see
any belt. It needs to be the tag belts.
Yeah, and the U.S. and Intercontinental.
No, leave those separate.
No, because we're not even seeing either of those being utilized really all that much either now.
Oh, U.S. was just defended on Raw.
Yeah, and Intercontinental was just changed hands tonight.
Intercontinental was defended tonight, and it's the
tonight.
Tonight, yes. The reason is because the person who won it does not go to Saudi Arabia. He won't wrestle there. He can't wrestle there because of his nationality is Syrian.
Right.
So Sami Zayn won't go there. So that's why the match was not tomorrow.
Right.
And the reason that Austin Theory won over Kevin Owens in the match is because Kevin Owens won't go there. So you have to remember, like...
Right. Kevin won't go because he supports Sami and...
Correct.
Right.
So now...
Despite TV stuff, Kevin Owens is a really good guy to Sami Zayn.
So, with that being said, now that Sami has the belt, you're going to see it a lot more.
Good.
Nakamura was injured, so that didn't help. And he was supposed to defend it Christmas Eve, and then he got hurt.
Right.
Damian Priest has been defending the belt. He's actually wrestled quite a few times with it.
That's right. He is the U.S. champion. I've just been watching him wrestle without remembering he was the champion. So my bad.
I think we're going to see Seth win this belt.
I mean, I won't complain. Again, right there on the wall, Seth just no. I won't complain. I'd love to see it.
The rumors were that he was supposed to win the belt at the Rumble. Everything got changed because Roman wasn't able to wrestle.
If there was
Not at the
one
Rumble.
man
And,
other than Seth
day one, I mean.
that I'd want to win, there's one man other than Seth I'd want to win tomorrow. He's not even in wrestling.
He's not even what?
He's not even wrestling right now.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Seth, there's only one guy I'd want to win that championship. Not the character, the guy.
Wyndham Rotunda.
Yes. Not as the Fiend, but as himself. That man is a creative genius, and he deserves a belt. Him, his character, no. But him, yes.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens with the Control Your Narrative.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I'm hearing... I haven't really found a real source about that yet, if that's actually what they're doing.
They are.
But
they announced it.
Okay, I must have missed it.
What source
I
do
must
you
have
need?
missed it. But
It's in our Discord in the other channel.
Oh, okay. I haven't really. I've been pretty busy. Played the kids in Monopoly just before the podcast here. I won.
Yeah, you probably cheated.
I didn't, but I'm more strategic than them. I didn't buy up the properties like crazy like they did.
Well, that's usually what I do.
I just went out because I had the most money, and they went bankrupt because the properties I did own had hotels on them.
So yeah, I think Seth's gonna win this. I wouldn't be upset if AJ won.
I think Lashley
or if
retains.
Lashley retains it, I wouldn't be upset with that. But you think Lashley's retaining?
Yeah, 100%. So the plot twist is Cody shows up and takes out Theory.
There's supposed to be lots of twists and turns at this event. Lots of things that start setting up for WrestleMania season.
Well, you have to, right? You're, a month and some out now at this point?
Month and a half. Exactly.
Yeah, so we need to get the storylines going.
So I'm actually excited to see what happens at this. I will not be watching this live.
Yeah, that's going to suck.
I will be watching it later on in the day, probably somewhere around 5, 6 o'clock.
Maybe earlier for me, but same.
And then we'll probably be back tomorrow night again to discuss it. If you're around.
Tomorrow night or Sunday night. We can make it work. Tomorrow night might not be the best. Sunday night I could probably.
So what were you going to say?
So now that we've discussed the Chamber, there's one match going into WrestleMania season that apparently so many people are trying to get. And it involves Kevin Owens. And I'm not extremely sold.
Why not?
Love them both, but I'm not sold on that idea.
Who should it be?
Well, it's going to be Kevin Owens and Austin. Like, I feel like that's going to come to fruition.
Yes,
but
if it's not Kevin Owens, who is using his current move right now.
But Austin said the only guy he really wants to fight is Brock. Okay, I get it. Why you're going with that.
What?
Austin has said in the past that the only guy he really wants to go against on the modern roster is Brock. But Brock is way out of Austin's league.
Well, not only that, Brock's already fighting Roman.
Apparently. But even still, I don't think Lesnar would take care of Austin in the same sense as Owens would.
Right.
Austin is a ring general. Austin's going to dictate the match. But I feel like Owens could put over a better quality style than Brock can.
What about Austin versus Goldberg?
Okay. That was something we wanted to see 20 years ago, not
Correct.
now.
That's what people are saying. They wouldn't care how the match turned out. They would just want to see them together in a ring.
I could go for it. Maybe just have it a double finish.
Or a quick thing. Goldberg goes to spear, misses.
Oh.
Stuns him.
So what, kind of like The Rock did with the Wyatt family a few years back.
Yeah.
Good. But it's a quick impromptu match, 23 seconds long.
Right.
Right.
Speaking of Austin-esque, there's the rumors that there's going to be somebody else coming back at Mania who is in the same stratosphere as him. Who do you think that is?
Brock?
I mean, there's rumors that he's going to show up after the match, after Roman's match, to set up the match for the next year.
Oh, another whole year in the making. Bullshit.
Well, because The Rock doesn't have a lot of time.
No, I understand
He can
that.
only
but,
do
like,
it when he can do it. I don't know what his movie schedule's like.
I mean, he's in every movie.
I do know that.
Kind of getting tired of seeing him in every movie, though.
I do know that the XFL is supposed to be starting again, so I don't know if he's going to be involved in that a lot, which means that he would have more time because he wouldn't be in movies.
Right.
So maybe he is.
But as a commissioner of a football league, do you really want to be wrestling?
Would that not get your eyes on the product?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Especially
just
wrestling. Especially wrestling
Right.
for WWE, who you bought XFL from.
Yeah. Holy shit. Mankind. What about him inducting Undertaker?
Ah,
Not Mick Foley. Mankind.
I can see that. I didn't even think of him
I don't know why that thought just came in my head.
because he's
But-
been all over the place doing other things. I didn't even think of him.
Because Undertaker was big, but him throwing Foley off that cell propelled him,
Propel both of them.
strapped the rocket to him, and they both were gone. Like, that was their holy and gone moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I don't even know why that just randomly came to me, but I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I would be okay with that too.
But this is stuff we can talk about in the coming weeks. I feel like there's going to be some more content coming up your way, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have a lot to talk about after tomorrow. Because
Hopefully.
I'm sure something happens tomorrow night that's can change how everything goes.
I mean, we can hope and pray that the landscape gets changed up a bit, but we won't know
Well,
until tomorrow.
To be fair, what was that? Crown Jewel last year was the one that was out there. That was WWE's best pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, sadly, and WrestleMania was in that year.
Yeah, but WrestleMania was 2 nights. There was a small crowd. Like, the crowd made this event last year also. You got to remember
Right.
that. The crowd was chanting with Sasha for her match. They sang her music when she came out. Like, so WWE goes all out for this show. And this is apparently how it's going to be going forward with the Elimination Chamber being over there.
Really?
So, yeah. Because they always do it in February and October usually. I do like it because now there's a month and a half until WrestleMania with no other pay-per-views.
I guess that's fair.
So now you have a longer build. I like that. I like that they're cutting down on pay-per-views.
Well, I love the fact that they're cutting down on pay-per-views.
Or
I'm
excuse me,
just
premium
not sold on.
Excuse me, premium live events. You're not sold on what?
Never mind. That's political. Can't say it.
Did you hear about them possibly bringing back Saturday Night Main Events?
I'm gonna be honest. We have Monday,
No.
Tuesdays.
Yes,
There's
but
just too much.
It would be on Peacock only.
There's too much content of wrestling on TV between 4 different companies right now.
But it would be on Peacock, and it wouldn't be every Saturday.
Okay, so main event coming back, but in the style of it when it was
No.
coming out.
It's not main event. Main event is still on now every Sunday night. I don't know where you can find it, but it's out there.
I didn't even know it was still on. Okay.
Yeah, because they tape 2 dark matches every Monday night on Monday Night on Raw
Right.
for it.
I don't know. All I know is in like 4 weeks, I'm going to a live event. So
That was supposed to be the one from Christmas, right?
yeah, and it's literally a whole weekend of live event. Other tickets got bought, and they were the weekend that we're going this upcoming one. And then our Christmas one got moved to that same weekend. So Saturday, Sunday is just rest.
Which weekend is this?
26th and 27th of March.
So the weekend before Mania.
Yeah.
It's
So
interesting because
a lot of stories to be told.
hold on. I think the night before your 2 events, you have is that the Raw you have?
Yeah.
You have Raw, okay. Because I think the night
Both.
before is SmackDown is over here.
Unfortunately for us,
SmackDown is
like
here the night
about
before in Barclays, and I'm tempted to actually get tickets and go.
Unfortunately for us, the 26th and 27th is both Raw events. It is probably the same card, which is fine. For me, it won't be that fun, but for my kids, it'll be great. But the cool thing is the one event on the Saturday night is being hosted by Trish Stratus.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And my goal at these live events, guys, and for those watching the visual podcast, pointing at belts right now, I plan to take a couple of them with me to get signed by superstars. So,
Interesting.
hoping, because the women's championship is signed by Bayley and really Alexa Bliss right now, and the WWE belt is signed by just AJ Styles. My Universal Red is only being signed by one person, and one will never be touched by anyone else. But
So
I can get the other two signed.
I'm looking at the details for the SmackDown event.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at 7:45 and it goes till 1:45. So I'm curious as to what's happening after. If SmackDown ends at 10 o'clock,
That's a long.
it's a long time afterwards. So what I'm thinking is maybe they're taping the next week because the next week is the night before the Rumble, the night before Mania. But I don't think they would because that's supposed to be when they're doing the Hall of Fame that night. So
Maybe they'll be taking the SmackDown for that because then everybody will be at the hall.
yeah, I don't know. I have to look into that some more. But that's a long time after. Might make me want to go even more though. But
Something to check out, that's for sure. But going to a SmackDown and going to a live event where I'm two different things. You're on a TV, I'm just in a building.
yeah, I went to SmackDown at the Garden earlier this year. It was great.
I think I had a buddy of mine do that too. I got a John Cena picture for my wife that way.
Yeah, heavy for me.
I was being a smartass.
I know you were.
Oh, look at that picture of Edge and Liv Morgan, Lana.
Oh, Lana was from the signing that
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hardy was at too.
Kevin Owens, Malachi Black,
But
the Young Bucks. Anyway, I can go on for days with
yeah, you got too many of them.
not even close. Not pictures.
But
Funkos. Yes.
I think that's it for tonight.
I think so. I think any questions in the chat at all?
Nope,
Any opinions?
nope. No one said anything. I actually think that we were alone tonight. So
That's okay.
it's all right.
You guys can now
You can now
catch this
check
on
us.
Spotify,
I was just gonna say you can check
Apple.
us on Spotify and Apple. We have expanded onto there. I will also be uploading this to YouTube, so you can also check us out over there. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help the video. And And you can always reach out to us in our Discord server. We're in the process of changing things around. It is a fun place, and we have a great time. So,
With our especially Vibes season wrapping up here, guys, it's close.
yeah, there's only 3 pay-per-views left. We have Elimination Chamber. We're gonna have Revolution, and then we'll have WrestleMania. We might add in Stand and Deliver by NXT just to add that 4th one in, but I have to see how everything goes because that is the same day as WrestleMania, so it does make it a little bit complicated for me.
Well, WrestleMania is our big Super Bowl, NHL Stanley Cup Final. It's the end of our season.
And then we restart and we refresh and come back big for next year. So I want to thank everybody who came out tonight, if anybody was here. And we look forward to seeing you again. Good night, guys.
Later, guys.